Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. 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 All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutation you Akim out there that's pushes word in truth and sincerity. You know, we're in the year of 2019, a year of Karagma, you know, and things is quickly speeding up. These prophecies are speeding up. But on one side of the coin, you got these Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that is a part of the 2/3 Club. They think they free in the land of America. They think they totally free. And this is truly the land of our captivity. But hence they think they free. How are you free in the land where your ancestors was brought over here to serve slavery? You see, what happened is, during the time of the Emancipation Proclamation, Abraham Lincoln, that word emancipate means to transfer wealth from one person to the next. So therefore, we have become corporate slaves. Hence, we have social security numbers, we have a birth certificate. So ultimately, we still in the land of our captivity. We still in the land that our forefathers brought here to serve hardcore slavery. Slakia. There's nothing changed. And we have to get up, go to work, pay bills. So we still in captivity, under the hands of the so-called white man, which is Esau. His biblical name is Esau, Edom. So what has changed? Hey, when you drive and you get pulled over, they ask you for your ID. During the time of slavery, when you was out and about, they asked you for your papers. And if you couldn't produce no papers and had a legitimate reason why you was out and about, the slave patrol, which is the modern day police, would put your ass to death, man. Or they would bring you back to your slave master, thinking that you were trying to escape. You see what I'm saying? So we in the land of our captivity still, man. We still in captivity. There's nothing changed. Slaki, brothers, this cat keep coming up here, you know, wanting to be in the video. This is Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us. And this captivity came upon us from Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah? Why? Because we have disobeyed the Lord's statutes and commandments, our forefathers. You know? For all the sins of our past lives, man. Even in the sin that, even in this life, man, we have sinned, man. And that's why we still in the land of our captivity. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. Are not we in the land of America, where our forefathers was brought over to serve hardcore slavery? Are not the Israelites scattered throughout the four corners of the earth because of the sins of our forefathers? And we are our forefathers coming back in the reincarnation. So that lets you know something, man. That's why we, to this day, stuck in the western part of the world, which is America, man. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us. Who scattered us? Yahweh. For a reproach and a curse. That was one of the curses that came upon us. Made it be scattered with the four corners of the earth. And that scattering came about during the time of 70 AD. During the time of the Flavian dynasty. When Jacob was just scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. And during the time of the Renaissance, when Esau came back into power, and the bulk of the slaves came from Africa, the western part of Africa over here, to the shores of America. The bulk of the slaves came to America, but they've been scattered, man. Brought, you know, to the Caribbeans, to South America, scattered, man, throughout the four corners of the earth, man. We all serve in slavery. We going through our trials and our tribulations, man. We going through everything that all the curses that was brought upon us, that was spoken about in Deuteronomy, the 15th chapter on down, man. It's like Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 15th verse on down. Slakia for that. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. All the curses that was spoken about in that chapter, in the 15th verse on down, is upon us to this day, man. Them curses is heavy upon us. I don't care where you go. I don't care how much you sell out to Esau, the so-called white man, to try to make it in this society. Them curses are going to follow you. Them curses are going to be on you. Them curses are going to cling to you, man. Case in point, Bill Cosby. Them curses is clinging on to because after Esau, the so-called white man, finished using and abusing him, they cast him off into prison. R. Kelly. Them curses is clinging upon him. Even though he sold out to get a piece of the pie in Esau's kingdom. Esau is through with you as he used you to promote being promiscuous, these women being promiscuous. He used you, R. Kelly, to promote adultery. Most of your songs is dealing with adultery. So now that Esau, the so-called white man, is finished with you, he's airing out your dirty laundry. And they're about to cast you off in the prison like he did the Bill Cosby, the Jello pudding pop eating dude. And I can name a slew of Negroes that sold out to so-called white men, and look where they got them. Broke and dead. Or both. You understand me? It says, I'm going to read it again from the top. Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments. You got to pay bills, you got to pay rent, gas, light, subject to payments, that's child support, taxes, and any other payment that's out there, car notes. You don't own any property in this land. You pay a mortgage, but you don't own the land. You may think you got because you got the deed to the house, but you don't own anything, man. Why you think you pay property taxes or land taxes? You see what I'm saying? So you don't own anything. We are subject unto payments in the land of our captivity because now we are corporate slaves. So they give us crumbs as a paycheck to pacify these jakes out there. Give them a little position of power to pacify them so they can oppress their own people. Those are the sellouts that have joined themselves unto Esau, thinking they're going to get a piece of the pie. But them curses are still on you, man. Whether you Reverend Al Sharpton, whether you Jesse Jackass Jackson, or whether you any other politician, Cory Booker, which is a homosexual, Andrew Cuomo, any one of you politicians out there that think that you have made it because you got some kind of position of power in Esau, the so-called white man's kingdom, you still subject unto payments. You don't think Cuomo pays bills? Let Cuomo or any one of them politicians that think they made it, let them buck up against the establishment, see where it get them. You see what I'm saying? You are subject unto payments, man. You are in captivity to this very day under the hands of Esau, the so-called white man. And 2/3 you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans love it the way it is, man. You love it so, man. Because you have Stockholm Syndrome. You'll begin to love the abuse that you have received from the hands of the so-called white man. You love the abuse. Therefore, you join yourself unto him with that perpetual agreement. You try to make yourselves equal with the so-called white man. You always be a nigger in the land of your captivity. Talking about the Michael Jordans that became billionaires. You just a billionaire nigga. You just a nigga that have made it, that have sold out to the point where you got $1 billion of FRN. You got 1 billion FRNs. Federal Reserve notes that ain't worth shit. Yet you sold out. But yet, guess what? At any given time, Esau could snatch your so-called riches from you and cast your black ass, or your so-called black ass, because you blacken the mind, into a concentration camp, or demonize your name and destroy you. It says, to be subject unto payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord our power. Hey, we are our forefathers coming back in the reincarnation. Because there's something called reincarnation, man. It's mentioned in the scriptures, throughout the scriptures. And that's why we in the predicament we in to this day, in the land of our captivity. Are not you still in America? Don't you have a social security number? Don't you have a birth certificate? You are in the land of your captivity. You are a corporate slave under the hands of Esau, the so-called white man. This is Baruch chapter, matter of fact, before I get that, let me get this real quick. And this is what we're waiting for, man. Because we know we have sinned against the Most High. We know that the reason why we're in the land of our captivity and why we're being punished by the wicked, which is Esau, which is the Most High's whipping stick, which is the Most High's sword. We know why we are being whipped and put in the situation, and we are in the situation we're in to this day. Because we sinned against our forefathers. Our forefathers sinned against the Most High. Our power, man. And we are our forefathers coming back in the reincarnation, man. That's why, you know, hey, hence being the land of our captivity. I'm going to keep on stressing that issue then. This is Baruch, this is Micah chapter 7, verse 7. Therefore, I will look unto the Lord Yahweh. I will wait for the power of my salvation. I will wait for Yahweh to crack them skies and to deliver me from the land of my captivity. From the land of our captivity. Where we are subject unto payments, subject to be put down by the sword by Esau, subject to having our women rule over us, whereas they're giving women all these powers where they can assert authority over a man, which is totally wicked. I will bear the indignation of the Most High to deliver me out of the land of our captivity. Why? Because this land is a cesspool of wickedness. This land is filled with homosexuality, bestiality, Satanism, witchcraft, feminism. All these wicked devices that Esau has proposed in the land of his, in his kingdom, in the land of our captivity. I'm going to wait for the salvation of my Lord Yahweh, my power. This is Micah chapter 7, verse 7. Therefore, I will look unto the Lord Yahweh for salvation, for deliverance. To feed me with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. To keep me in the hour of temptation. I will wait for the power of my salvation. My power will hear me. Verse 8. Verse 8. Rejoice not against me, O my enemy. Who's my enemy? Esau. 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, that's a part of the 2/3 club, and the rest of the nations. Moab, Ishmael, Ammon, the so-called Chinese, the so-called Arabs, the so-called Japanese, and any other nation that's over here. Because this is a cesspool in the melting pot. A cesspool of wickedness and the melting pot where all the nations are dwelling in this land, indulging themselves in this wickedness. It says, Micah chapter 7, verse 8. Rejoice not against me, O my enemy. I don't name my enemies pursuant to Psalms 83rd chapter, the first verse on down. It says, the 83rd chapter, Psalms 83, the first verse on down, man. Rejoice not against me, O my enemy, when I fall, because we have fell as a nation, we have fell as a people. Israel is scattered up the four corners of the earth, and they don't know that they are Israelites. Only a small remnant is going to come back and remember themselves in the land where they have been held captive at, and praise the Lord Yahweh Yahweh Shah, man, and seek salvation and deliverance. But the 2/3, they're not going to take heed, because they're slated for destruction. But they're going to come back, do the 1/3 in the kingdom. Ultimately, all Israel going to be saved. Only the 1/3 and 144,000, a small remnant is going to be saved out of the kingdom of Esau to be delivered. It says, rejoice not against me, O my enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, the Lord, Yahweh, shall be a light unto me. And this is the land of darkness, man. We are sitting in the land of darkness with all kind of witchcraft, sorceries, lesbianism, homosexuality, transgenderism, and all manner of wickedness is taking place, man. We was once darkened in our mind, but now these scriptures, through the grace and the power and the mercy of Yahweh, bringing us back in the fold. Yahweh Shah, bringing us back in the fold. The Lord has become a light unto me, and that light is these scriptures, man. Why I don't walk in darkness anymore, not knowing who I am, following the ways of Esau, the so-called white man, which is totally off, which is going to bring me death and destruction. But I'm seeking deliverance in the land of my captivity. It says, when I sit in darkness, the Lord shall be a light unto me. Verse 9, I will bear the indignation of the Lord Yahweh, because I have sinned against him. How did we sin against the Lord? Not observing his high holy days, turning not back on the Lord's statutes and commandments of the Most High, turning not back on the Most High himself, and serving other deities and being totally wicked. More wicked than the so-called white men and other nations that surround about us, man. That's how we sinned against the Most High. Until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me, he will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. The Lord have brought me to the light by giving me these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And if I do it to the end, I hope I do, then I will see the salvation of the Lord, man. When Yahweh shall bust them skies with them chariots, man, bringing death, destruction, and deliverance. Deliverance to the 1/3, 144,000, and death and destruction to 2/3 Esau, the rest of the nations, man. That's the salvation I'm looking for. Being beamed up and being taken out of this hellhole, man. This cesspool of wickedness. It says, I will bear the indignation of the Lord Yahweh, because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. That judgment he's going to execute is destroying Esau, snatching Esau, the so-called white man, out of his power seat. That's the judgment the Most High is going to execute for the sons of Israel. On this side, the elect. He will bring me forth to the light, which is this truth, these scriptures, and I shall behold his righteousness. Hey, these scriptures, man, the beautiful laws, statutes, and commandments that's written in these books, man. And ultimately, beholding the Lord's salvation is being beamed up in them chariots. Being beamed up in them chariots, man. That's right. The last scripture before I close it out. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse 25. My sons, it says children here, but my sons, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Lord Yahweh. For thine enemies have persecuted thee, but surely thou shalt see his destruction. Who's my enemies? Psalms the 83rd chapter. The first verse started with Esau and all the rest of the nation that has been confederate against us. Against who? The sons of Israel. My sons, it says, like I says in Baruch chapter 4, verse 25, it says my children, but we all know it's the sons the Most High is referring to. My sons, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from Yahweh, for thine enemy, which is Esau, the so-called white man, and the rest of the nations, have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction. We're going to see the destruction of Esau, those that's blessed to see it. Blessed is he who lived to see the fall of his enemies. I lived to see the fall of Esau, the so-called white man, getting snatched out of his rulership. And Jacob, pursuant to his 2nd Ezra 6 and 7, be set up in his stead. But surely thou shalt see his destruction, and shall tread upon his neck. How we going to tread upon the neck of Esau? He's going to be ashes, man. After those that make it, that come back out of them chariots, that come down from heaven out of them chariots to take over the earth, to execute the Lord's judgment on these nations, and put Esau red as in slavery, we're going to be treading upon the wicked's neck, which they're going to be ashes. But the elect of Esau, the international bankers of Esau, is going to make it, man. They're going to be the first fruits of slaves. It says, let me read it again. Baruch chapter 4, verse 25. My son, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from Yahweh, for thine enemy have persecuted thee. But surely, how did they persecute us? Through slavery, unjust laws, shooting us down, putting our women above us. That's putting a heavy burden upon us, man, in the land of our captivity. That's the persecution of Esau, the so-called white man. But guess what? We're going to see, it says, but surely thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck, because he's going to be ashes. My delicate ones, talking about the Israelites, the 1/3, my delicate ones, somebody, all Israel right here, my delicate ones have gone through rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Taken out of our land, chased out of our land during the time of 70 AD, scattered off the four corners of the earth, and taken out of our, taken out of the land of Ham, and brought over to the shores of America to serve slavery, man. The Native Americans getting their land taken from them and persecuted and cut down, have to walk the trail of tears because of Esau has persecuted us, man. We was delivered to the hands of our enemies for all the sins that we committed against Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah. My delicate ones have gone through rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort. Be of good comfort. And these scriptures is a comfort unto me, knowing that the Lord is going to deliver me out of the land of my captivity. For there is written, and the Lord is not a man that he shall lie. These prophecies will come to pass. We will be delivered out of the land of our captivity, wherever we are scattered, whether it's Great Britain, where we scattered, in Ireland, where we scattered in Germany, wherever we are scattered at the sons of Israel, we're going to be delivered from our captivity. Because that was a promise and a prophecy that the Lord have promised unto us, man, to deliver us out of our captivity. Be of good comfort. These scriptures are my comfort. O my children, O my sons, and cry unto Yahweh, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. The Lord brought all these things upon us, man. Slavery, being subject unto payments, being lynched, beat, our women raped, the men being buck broken. Esau furthered the affliction, but we're going to see the destruction of Esau shortly, and we're going to be delivered from the land of our captivity. It says, be of good comfort, O my sons, and cry unto Yahweh, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. And that's why we on the Howard's and the Bible is pushing his word in season, out of season. That's why we put up videos constantly, week in and week out, man. Seeking the Lord our power in the land of our captivity. Observing the high holy days. Observing the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability, man. Observing the Sabbath, man. Doing that which is right. Practicing, rehearsing the righteous acts in the land of our captivity. And the Lord sees these things, man. Because we're part of the hopeful elect. It says, for as it was in your mind to go astray from Yahweh, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. Verse 29. It says, for he that have brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation. And everlasting joy is being brought back into our land, seeing the fall of our enemies. That everlasting joy is being joint rulers with Yahweh Shah in the kingdom. The everlasting joy is having slaves and servants, beating the shit out of Esau's red ass, man. Having our women back in subjection under us, man. Having joy of our children, where righteousness dwell, man. where wickedness has been forgotten. Wickedness and the plagues of all the wickedness that have been brought upon has been done away with, man. We receive nothing but everlasting joy, everlasting righteousness, man. Being rich beyond our wildest dreams, man. Having new bodies, not being in pain, not suffering, not being subject unto payments, child support, rent, gas and light, car notes, mortgage, land taxes, eating GMO foods, man. Not going to do nothing but righteousness, man. And all the plagues, and all the bad things, the evils that came upon us, the curses is going to be reversed and put upon Esau and the rest of the nations, man. So that's what we're looking for, man. That's the everlasting joy that's going to be returned to us, man. With our salvation, being joint heirs with Yahweh Shah, man. Ruling in the kingdom. So with that, I'm going to close it out. And I hope Akim was edified. You know, just thinking about how these jakes out here think that they still, that they are free, but yet they still in captivity. And they subject unto payments, but leave it to the 2/3 that think they're free. You know, free in the land of our captivity, free in the cesspool of wickedness, man, which is America. You're not free, man. So like I said, with that, I hope you Akim out there was edified. And once again, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, and once again, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this word, man. That taught us the words of the Most High through the grace and the mercy of Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah taught us this word, man. Shalom.